So, what are 3 Chinese herbs that you could use to treat the 3 treasures? Welcome today to Nature's Mysteries Medicine Shows, episode 56. And this is the 3 remedies in our traditional Chinese medicine series. Last show, we talked a little bit about the 3 treasures and what those were. Excuse me. And so today we're going to talk about 3 of the remedies that we could use to treat the 3 treasures. So thank you for joining us. Sorry, honestly, I got to take a breath for a minute. So I hurt my leg a couple of weeks ago in my driveway. It was on Father's Day. That's why we missed streaming the show last week. So thanks for your patience. And I was getting ready to go live. And I looked at my computer, said my battery was about to die. And my cord was downstairs and I can't bend my legs. So I'm like going on the stairs like, okay, so I feel like my heartbeat's gone down a little bit and I can speak now. So I'm Michelle Wildflower. I am the founder and alchemist for Nature's Mysteries Apothecary. I'm also the director of education at Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health. Also the author of our herbal textbook, the Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs, Cannabis Edition. And we're accredited with the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. Upon completion of our 12-week holistic health practitioner program, you could apply to them to become a board certified holistic health practitioner. But we have really exciting news that we're like bursting to share, and that is that Vermont residents are eligible for full tuition assistance through VSAC, which is Vermont Student Assistance Corp. And you can go to vsac.org and apply today. These grants are advancement grants. They're on a first come, first served basis. And like I said, if you get your grant application in on time, there's actually full tuition assistance available. So it's pretty amazing and pretty exciting. And we'd love to have you join us if you're, even if you're not a Vermont resident. We do have scholarships available and payment plan options, but what a wonderful opportunity for Vermont residents to be able to apply for those advancement grants. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, like I said, last week we discussed the 3 treasures, and what those 3 treasures are is, does anyone remember? Anybody want to type it in the comments real quick before I say what they are? Or even if you just remember one. Okay, so the first one is Qi, and that's kind of like your life force, you know, kind of like your vitality, right? In homeopathy, they refer to it as your vital force. So, and Chinese medicine, Qi is kind of like your life source. So Qi is one, that's one of the treasures. Shen is the other one, and Shen is like your spirit or your mind, what enables us to think and feel, and who is responsible for our emotional and cognitive presence. And then the third one, the final treasure, is Jing, and Jing is our essence, which determines our physical and energetic characteristics. So if you want to learn more about them, you can tune into our last episode because we explored them in detail. But tonight we're not really discussing them. We're discussing the remedies that would treat any imbalances that you were experiencing. Sorry, I feel like I have hair in my face. Okay, probably from running up and down the stairs, or hobbling up and down the stairs. Okay, so these are the 3 remedies that would be helpful if you were experiencing any kind of imbalances in either one of the 3 treasures. And I actually wrote about all 3 of them in my book. So if you went to the school, you would learn about them extensively in detail in the Holistic Health Practitioner program course. So the first one is astragalus, and the list of conditions that astragalus treats are much more than just one area. It actually treats cancer, autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis, kidney disease or obstructions, indigestion, high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, low energy, stress, and fevers. And actually combining it with other herbs such as echinacea actually enhances their effectiveness, working synergistically together. Now, it fortifies qi. It's known as a qi and blood tonic. And we would use this herb when my husband was diagnosed with lymphoma 8 years ago. It's one of the herbs in my protocol, my cancer-free protocol. I came up with about 20 different vitamins, herbs, enzymes, minerals, mushrooms, and we had the cancer gone in 3 months, to his oncologist's dismay. And when we got the diagnosis and they told him that he was going to have to do chemo, he had swollen lymph nodes in his esophagus, trachea, and abdomen. So much to the point that, excuse me, the herbal teas and capsules and supplements that I was trying to give him, it was hard for him to get down because of those swollen lymph nodes. So he did end up having to get chemo. And when they told him the whole list of side effects associated with chemo, I asked, is there anything, that he could do to lessen those side effects? And they didn't know of any. But when I was talking about it with my husband, I wasn't familiar with this astragalus. I had never worked with it before. But when I was talking to him, I said, who knows, maybe we can find a plant, something like, and I said astragalus, not even knowing that that was the perfect plant. And, I said, maybe there's a plant like astragalus or something like that that we could use that would help to ease some of those side effects and to boost your immune system. And actually, that is the ideal choice. We later found out that in China, they actually give it to patients who are undergoing chemotherapy. So it was an excellent option that my intuition gave to me. And that's why we always tell our students at Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health to always follow your intuition. If a plant comes to you and for some reason, it might be one you never heard of before, maybe one you never worked with before, but definitely investigate it if it comes to you. So the second one that I wanted to talk about today is reishi mushroom. And it's known as a superfood. It's often referred to frequently in ancient texts as the mushroom of immortality. Its first recorded use was over 2,000 years ago, and around 200 to 250 CE. The first reference was in the Sheneng Bankao. Hopefully, I'm not butchering that, sorry, I'm not sure exactly how to say it. Jing's classic book, Divine Farmer's Classics of Pharmaceutics, it was also revered by Buddhist monks, Taoists, emperors, the royalty of China, Korea, Japan, and sages throughout time. It's known as the king of herbal medicines. And nothing really compares to mushroom energy. The supreme deep immune system tonic nourishes the spirit, essence, and vital energy. So reishi actually addresses all three of the treasures. So how wonderful is that? And then the herb, it's actually, according to Dr. X, recent findings suggest that reishi mushrooms can lower inflammation and increase the release of natural killer cells, which work to remove various types of mutated cells from the body. This makes the reishi mushroom ideal for preventing heart disease and working as a natural cancer treatment. So that's a great option. And I'm not sure if you saw any of our episodes in the past where we talked about energy or auras or chakras. But this is actually one plant that penetrates through the layers, healing the energetic body as well. Or herb, not plant, fungi. So so I've told my students before, when I say herb, I don't necessarily mean a plant or a mushroom. It could be a seaweed, it could be a seed, it could be a lichen, it could be fungi. So to me, an herb is any healing substance that's from the earth. So other people have different, they might say it's a woody plant, something like that. But for me, if I'm talking about herbs, I'm encompassing fungi in there as well, okay? So just so that we're clear. Okay, the last one that I wanted to talk about is kelp. It's also known as a superfood. And Chinese medicine has used seaweeds and marine organisms for their potent pharmacological activities for over 3,600 years. There's actually known to be 171 species of medicinal seaweeds in China, some species being particularly popular in Chinese medicine, specifically kelp, which is the one that I wrote about in my book. It's a type of brown algae working as a natural anti-inflammatory agent. It also contains iodine, a mineral that supports thyroid and cognitive health while protecting you from certain kinds of cancer. And foods that come from the sea, including seaweed and sea vegetables, are known to replenish your Jing. So other conditions that it treats are cancer, diabetes, flu, obesity, brittle bones, anemia, stroke, heart attack, blood clots, leukemia, inflammation, osteoporosis, bone disease, radiation exposure. So for my husband, I like to use it for its great, it brings down swelling. So it's a great anti-swelling herb. Tuberculosis, arthritis, colds, influenza, goiter, heart disease, and like I said, inflammation. And if you would like more info on how to prepare these remedies, you can find my book at naturesmysteries.com. There's over 150 recipes in there, and there's specific ones for using these remedies that we're speaking of in treating your qi, your shen, or your jing. So, and if you would like to take your knowledge of plant medicine even farther, our next session, our fall session at Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health begins September 12th, and that's our 12-week Holistic Health Practitioner Program, which, like I said, is accredited by the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. Upon completion of that 12-week program, you can apply to them to become a board-certified holistic health practitioner. How cool would that be for you? So the best news is, though, is that for Vermont residents, right now, eligible applicants can receive full tuition assistance through the VSAC Advancement Grant Program. So that is vsac.org, advancement grant. This is on a first come, first served basis. So you definitely want to make sure that you go to vsac.org and get your application in today for the advancement grant for Nature's Mysteries Academy of Holistic Health Practitioner Program. Okay, that was a mouthful, huh? So thank you so much for joining us today on Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show, when we learned about the 3 remedies that would treat the 3 treasures in Chinese medicine. So go to naturesmysteries.com, sign up today, and reserve your space for our fall session. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks so much. Discover the essence of plant medicine. Take care.